Hello, welcome to the Knitwood and the Sticks. Welcome back to the Knitwood and the Sticks. If you're probably a returning viewer because I don't really get my word out there. I don't get my name out there. Like, I probably don't want to get my name out there. It's probably not a good thing to get your name out there these days. But anyway, I'm Michelle, and I'm here out in the sticks, literally. Some people are out in more sticks than I am, but I'm out in a fair amount of sticks, I would say, out in Northwest Oregon. And thanks for coming by. I am sitting in a different area of what used to be my yarn shire and is kind of becoming my stamp shire. I need to come up with a good, I don't even know how I would combine those two words, yarn and stamp, but I definitely do more stamping in here than I do anything with yarn except for move my yarn around. So I was in a different corner where I usually sat and recorded, and that thing behind me that you see behind me now was over on that other wall. And I moved everything around because now I've got a desk here with all my stamping stuff set up. Maybe I'll show you. But just taking a quick video to show you how I change things around again, so that there's more stamping space. And Michael got me a mat for my floor, and so we're trying to weigh it down. But and trust me when I say the closet is a disaster. Project for another day. But so I sat there today to record, and then I just had this blank wall behind me. I was like, I kind of, with my gray hair and my pale skin, I kind of blend in with the wall if I don't have something behind me. So that's why I moved everything around. And the added benefit is I have a table now, my desk next to me. So hopefully I'm going to be a little bit more organized, but you guys know that's probably a little too high a goal to achieve. But anyway, thanks for being here. The last you guys heard, Grace was about to go in and get fixed, so I want to just give an update on that. We took her in, it doesn't matter, like a week and a half ago. It was a Thursday, but we went in, took her in. It was like giving over your firstborn child, and she looked at us like we had just completely betrayed every ounce of trust and love that she had in us. But we went and picked her up, and her little tail started wagging as soon as we got there, and she's bounced back. Like within 2 days, she was hopping. I don't know if everyone knows this about her. She's a Chihuahua, but she hops up and down from all four legs, like 4 to 6 feet. Okay, not 6 feet, because she doesn't. I might be exaggerating there, but 3 to 4 feet off the ground. She just bounces up and down, up and down. And so I had told the vet that she does this, and that we might need some sedatives or something, to try to keep her mellow for the first whatever, so she could recover. Because I know after my hysterectomy, I wasn't jumping up and down. That was 10 years ago, and I'm still not jumping up and down, nor will I. But anyway, so we got the sedatives, and then I thought, this was like a day or two, I think it was the next day, I was thinking, okay, she's gonna get her sedatives, and this dog can take it. You can like put a pill in a piece of prime rib. You could mash it up in there, and she would be able to spit that pill out. She would eat all the stuff around it, and she can get the pill out. It's amazing, really. So I learned, you have to like smash the pill and make a powder. They really should just give it to you in powder form. But anyway, so that's what I did. I mashed it up, put it in this shredded meat dog food that we have for him, a bowl for her. And I thought, well, it would be probably a good thing to give Oso a sedative. And then he's been kind of acting like he's walking around like this. Like I probably can't even tilt my head that far because I'm too stiff. I should probably do some neck exercises. But he was walking around with his head tilted really bad. And so I read about it, and he's always pawing at his ear, you know, so it doesn't take a vet to figure out. He's probably got needs his ears cleaned or something. So Oso is not the kind of dog that you can do anything to him while he's conscious. Or you have, if we want to trim his nails, and we've done the groomer thing, and he's bit at him, and it's always been a thing. But so when you wrap his head in a towel, we don't mummify him. Although actually that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But anyway, we do this thing where we can control his neck so that he can't bite you. And that's how we cut his nails. So we thought, we're gonna have to do that to do his ears. So I mashed some up, put it in food for him. I put this food down for the dogs. They both come and smell it, and they're just like, you're trying to drug us. They knew that there was something in there that they didn't want, but ultimately they both ate some of it. Neither one of them ate all of it. Well, Grace was fine. She was totally fine. Oso was walking around like he was stoned out of his mind. And when I say Grace was fine, I have a follow-up to that. But in the immediate time after they ate, he would go stand by the door. We'd open the door, and he'd kind of take a step like he was going to go out, and then he was so confused. I felt so bad. But, Grace, they dosed this stuff for Grace, and Oso weighs more than she does. So it's not like I overdosed my dog. He just has a very low tolerance, apparently, for drugs. So anyway, I thought he was going to die. I felt so bad. But we still did the ear thing, and he was totally fine. I think he liked us kind of cleaning out his ear a little bit, and I've since ordered him some eardrops, but it really, he was fine with that. So we thought, okay, well, we've given him the drugs. Let's trim his nails. Oh my gosh. He got totally Cujo on me. Michael was holding him, and I got the clippers because he loves me the most. And he's never tried to bite me. He's kind of done that thing where he wants to snap at me, but he loves me. He wasn't going to he was biting at me, I think because he was doped up. And so it was just a bad thing for poor little Oso. But anyway, so that night we go to bed, and our dogs sleep with us. We're some of those weird people, but that's why we can't have nice sheets. But anyway, I wake up in the middle of the night to Grace grabbing my hair and literally doing this. Not with her paw, but with her mouth. And then, I'd hit her away, whatever, go. And then I found out the next day that I would be hitting her away. She'd go over to Michael and grab his beard and start pulling on his beard. And then she'd come back and pull my hair. She'd never done this before. So our dogs do not react well to drugs. I guess that's the takeaway. Our drugs don't react well to drugs. Did I just say our drugs don't? I meant our dogs don't. I don't apparently react well to drugs either, and I'm not even on them. So, I don't know. We'll just blame it on something else. So, anyhow, that's the dog update. Grace is doing great. Just fabulous. And hopefully the whining, that was just such a weird, the whole thing was weird. But then she started pooping in the house. And, it happened twice. But, one night, just the other night, we let them out, they come back in, she poops. It's wait a sec, we just let you out and you come back in the house and you pooped. So then the next day, same thing, the next morning, they just come back in and she pooped. I was like, what the heck? So Michael Googled it, and apparently some dogs after, of course you can Google things and they'll tell you anything. So, grain of salt, but we did experience it. Because she didn't poop in the house before this. Apparently sometimes after their hysterectomy, or after, I don't know if it happens to boys too, but their hormones get messed up and they just get kind of confused. And I can tell you from someone who's had a hysterectomy, my hormones have been screwed up and I've been confused ever since. So, however, I will say that I go to the bathroom in the correct places. So anyway, so we're being more diligent about taking them out and going out with her as opposed to just letting them out. So I'm sure it's going to correct itself, but it's just been kind of interesting. But overall, I'm just so happy that she did good. I paid all the extra money for the extra fluids and to run all the tests, which I know is probably a scam. But I knew that if anything had happened to her, you know, we'd both be really upset, but I'm the one that pushed to get her fixed. So I was like, just do whatever you can. Just make sure my dog doesn't die. So anyhow, that's that. I have a list of winners. I put together 8 different prizes, and I had showed them on the last episode, and then I've kind of added to them and stuff. So I'm going to tell you who you are, and then please email me your address, Naughty Nitwits, just like my old podcast, and like my Instagram name, except I think on Instagram I'm Naughty Nitwit, and my email is naughtynitwits@gmail.com. And I had tried, and this worked with one, just because I thought, you know, I'm just going to contact people on YouTube. I'm just going to go to their comment. I'm going to reply to the winners and just say, hey, you won, you know, email me at, you know. And I've done that a couple times. And of the people that have contacted me, they've all said, is this a scam? I'm not clicking on anything, you know, and I totally get that. Because apparently if I put in, you know, my email address on YouTube, it like creates a link that I think, I'm not really sure actually, but I assume it creates a link, and then that makes people suspicious because we're all suspicious of links, and I get that. So I decided to I'm just going to name you on here, and hopefully I'll hear from you, because one of the prizes is still one of those bags from Fat Girls Fiber that I never heard. So that's twice now that I haven't heard back from previous winners. And I get it. I mean, their lives get busy, and so I'm not dogging the people that won and didn't contact me. The biggest concern I have is I feel bad that, you know, if they ever do see it, then they're going to contact me, and I'm going to be like, sorry, I moved on. But I'm moving on because it's time to just clear some stuff out of here. These were intended to be, well, the bag was intended to be a giveaway. And then I have other stuff that I've just been kind of clearing through some stuff. Oh, look at that reflection. You guys are going to get quite a reflection from my glasses. I don't know if I duck down, if that'll make it better, but you can be looking at me anyway. You're going to look at what I'm going to show you. So I have some, like this is a bag of some minis, and I've just added a few other things. And so this is how this is going to work. I've got mostly minis. And so those of you that are winning minis, it's just, I think there's a few of you, you're just going to get what you get. I'm sure you're fine with that. So someone's going to get this bag of minis. I did say I would say who the winners are. I'm just going to go through it real quick. This bag is the mystery yarn, the random yarn winner, which look how good, it's like such a perfect match. So that person is Knitting Artisan, or is it Artisan? It's Knitting, Artisan. So in my mind, that's artisan, right? Because if it was artesian, it would be Artisian, I would think, but I'm no scholar, as y'all know. So Knitting Artisan wins this bag and that yarn, because it's just it just goes so good. So that's that one. And then, okay, this one was not one that I had shown, but okay, I love this bag. I've always loved this bag. The polka dots, the floral, the stripes. I love the Henrietta pin. And then this yarn is so pretty, but I don't have the tag in here, but it was supposed to be a cashmere blend, and to me it doesn't, oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. It doesn't feel, there we go. I'm just gonna like lay back. Hey dudes, sorry. If I had a ball cap, I'd put it on backwards right now because I kind of feel like that kind of vibe going. Anyway, I just have so many awesome bags, and I don't really use bags that much anymore because I don't go anywhere. Still love them, don't get me wrong. I still love bags, but I just thought, my stuff owns me right now, and I don't like that feeling. I feel like I have too much stuff. You guys have heard me, this old song and dance. And I just would much rather have other people enjoying some of it. So this person or someone is going to be this winner. So another winner is Wendy Knopp, or Knopp, Knopp. Wendy, I think I've said your name before. But anyway, so you're going to be a winner. And I've already talked about the mystery yarn winner. Okay, so that's that. I have another really cool bag that I absolutely love. I hate to even admit that I'm getting rid of this because Charming You was so kind to send me that advent calendar, the yarn, which I've used in my blanket. And this awesome bag, it's so cute and it's so well made. It's by Button and Boo. Button, Button, and then N, Boo, Boo. Such a cute tag. I mean, I'd keep it just for the tag. It's so cute. It's a puppy and a kitten. This was part of the advent calendar, and I have to tell you guys, it is so well made. I love it's got a snap, and I love snaps. And the interior is super cute. I mean, maybe I shouldn't get rid of it. No, I'm just kidding. I just love it. It is an awesome bag. Awesome. But I'm not going to use it. I want, like I said, nothing that I'm getting rid of is, I don't like that anymore. I do. It's just, I just feel like I have too much, and there's just, you guys have heard me say it before. So I'm done. Okay. And then two of my magic balls, and a couple other little things in there. So that winner is, okay, Mary Thomas. I'm just going on what YouTube says as who you are. Mary Thomas 5886. That's how you come up on YouTube. So you win this. Okay, so we'll check that off. Another specific thing is is it this? No, that's me. Oh, that's something else. Okay, this. No, it's not. Where? Oh, yeah. Okay, Bobby Allison 1117. Bobbi Allison 1117. You win this cute bag. I love this bag. It's just really cute. See the inside. It's got a little pocket here. It's just a great bag. I mean, it's my favorite color. It's got birds on it, which I love birds again. And then I've got some remnant self-striping yarns in here. And then I have a new set. Okay, we're going to just kind of transition for just a sec. Well, kind of. Okay, this is, I divided it. It's a self-striping yarn. Don't quite remember, sorry. Here I started to knit it up on a sock pattern that I'm test knitting for Chit Chat Knits, Darcy, and I have a different pair to show. But I had combined it with white self-striping, because we'll get to it. But I didn't like how this was turning out. It was just too washed out, like it just wasn't working for me. And then I got to thinking, I like this. I thought I was going to like it more just because I thought, oh, the yellow and it's just more spring colors, whatever. I like those colors. It's just, I do so little knitting right now that I want to knit with color. Well, for one thing, like I said, those weren't working for the pattern that I'm doing. I just didn't think it looked good. I'm justifying myself here. Anyway. This is just going to go to Bobby Allison because she commented that she's been thinking about casting on some socks. And I thought, this should inspire you. Okay, so you have to knit some socks with that. And if you have any questions or need help, let me know and I can refer you, because I'm no teacher, but I can refer you to some good, like whatever. Just let me know if you need that. So there's that. Joanna Quillman Joanna, Quillman, you win that bracelet, the stitch marker bracelet. I don't need to show that again. So then that leaves 1, 2, 3. And hopefully that means I have 3 more. Well, I've already showed 2. So then the rest of these are just the miscellaneous minis. This cute bag, again, a bag that I love. It's got chickens. It's by the Angel, Scrappy Angel. She makes such cute, I love it. And it's even this kind that I love. But I've said it before. Okay, it's got some different minis. You can't even see in there. It's got some different minis. And then also a couple socks that I've started that you can just, you know, use as a sock blank. Just rip it out if you want. This one too. And then it has, well, I don't have to send you the sock. You can let me know if you want the sock. I never wore it. I knit it from this sock blank, which is really fun. I mean, it was knitting up great. I love, if nothing else, I could send it just so you could see how great it feels. But I'm not gonna do it. So anyway, mocha caramel latte. Mocha caramel latte. That sounds kind of good. You're a winner. So I'm not saying that you win this particular one. I think whoever, I don't want to make this more complicated. Just get in touch with me and you get what you get. But if you have a preference of the different mini things that I've shown, which would be, just to reiterate, no, you guys, I'm totally making this, I confuse myself. Like if I'm confusing myself, I'm sure you're way confused, but let me list off those winners again, and then we'll work it out between us, okay? Mocha Caramel Latte, Wendy Nope, Knit Happy, Susan 9203. You guys are winners. And then also, and then Knitting Artisan, you know what you're getting for sure. Mary Thomas 5886, you're getting the magic balls. Bobby Allison 1117, you're getting the self-striping stuff. And Joanna Quillman, you're getting the bracelet. So it's really not that confusing, but if there's a way that I can make it confusing, you know I'm going to. And then one more thing, I have this, I knit this a while ago. It's super soft, it's really pretty. I'm just not going to ever. It didn't turn out as like big as I wanted it to, but I also didn't want it huge. So I don't know what I really wanted. And I don't know that even if I had achieved perfection, I'm still not sure that I'd want it, just because I just don't. So this will be one more little giveaway. So you can enter, this is a new giveaway. You can enter and just say that you want it, because I was doing those comment picker things and I was putting in keywords, but I don't even know if I've tried that again yet. So just say that you want it and I'll pick a winner that way. So that's for next time. And then in the meantime, I really hope I hear from everyone that I just listed in that long rant that was very confusing, but I would love to get this stuff in the mail. Get it out of here. Even though, like I said, a lot of it's stuff that I really like, you feel good when it actually goes to people that are going to use it. And I want to feel free to do what I do and not feel like I should be doing something else. Isn't that all of our dreams? That's what we all want. We just want to do what we want and not feel like we should be doing something else. Am I asking too much? I just don't think so. So, okay, there's that. I've got to put my reflectors back on. I'm sorry. It's like, the way I'm sitting here is great. This is a great setup, except for that reflection. In fact, I probably look like I did fake spray tan or something. I can't. How do I look? You don't really need me in your face that close. All right. So one of the things I want to talk about, because I've been asked this several times, is this has been on my chair behind me when I sit over there. And I've had several people ask me about it. And it is, I gotta tell you guys, it is so awesome. And I think part of why it's awesome is this black that I used is it's a linen blend. And I love, like, people have talked about how nice linen feels after you wash it, but while you're working with it, it's stringy, it's splitty, and I was crocheting. So this was inspired by, my friend Lori was knitting the blanket Lullaby by Tin Can Knits. And so I loved how it looked, but I wanted to crochet one. So that's what I did. I just figured it out. I figured out however many chains I did to start. And it was a total pain because I was trying to use minis, and sometimes they were running out before I got to the end, and I just got so what I did was I would just do a couple of rows of black and then do the mini couple rows of black. And I would have continued with it, and part of me wishes I had, and I could go back and add more because crochet is like that, and I probably still even have some of the black. But I just got so tired of how the linen was splitting in the crochet. It just was driving me nuts. I don't know if I'd be more tolerant of it now because I've been crocheting. Well, obviously I've been crocheting longer because this has been a while. But I don't know. I've got so many things I want to do that I'm not sure that, I do love this though. I think it's stunning. Like, I love color between the black. I think that's a nice look. But I also really do like, there's just something about how it feels. It's really nice. So I had thought, well, I can just do it as like a wrap, but I never do. It just sits on my chair in here because, I don't really do anything. I don't go many places to put a wrap on for it, but I guess if next time I'm chilly, I could just, and I'm rarely chilly because we have a wood burning stove, and so I'm usually pretty warm, which has acclimated me. My husband and I laughed because when we first got the wood burning stove put in, he'd start these fires, and I would put on tank tops and shorts. I would be dying. I'd want to open the door to get a breath of fresh air. I was just so hot. And now it's like I've acclimated, and now if it's below 68 in here, I'm freezing. And that 68 used to be what I would heat my house to. I would never, ever let it be over 68. I'd be dying. And now, it gets to be 76. We've got the fire going, and I'm just fine. I wouldn't have a sweater on, but I'm not stripped down to shorts and a tank top. So it's just, you can acclimate. Doesn't mean I'm ready to go live in Florida yet, but anyway, so I looked online, and just for example, because the pattern that I was inspired by was that knitted Lullaby by Tin Can Knits, I looked, and there is there's so many possibilities, but one that just came up immediately was called Next Ripple by Lucy of Attic 24. So that would be a kind of like a written out pattern that would be this basically. And all you'd have to do if you like the look of the black is just add some black in between your rows. So there's that. I'm finally answering that question that I've been asked many times. And I'm just going to have this on my lap. It's like, it could be a lap wrap. So what else do I have? Oh, couple things here. I'm always putting my glasses on and off normally just because I don't like to wear them. But today it's because I'm seeing how, that's not bad. I just see that awful reflection in them, and it would if I was watching that, it would drive me nuts. But Sharon shared, I don't know if I can say that. Sharon shared about Sweater Weather Sock Collection by North Woods Knit Co. They're all toe up. She said the heel's amazing, and it's 3 patterns, and it's in my list of patterns that I might look at because they were pretty cool. So I'll put a link to that, and thank you, Sharon, for sharing about that. So I just have this test knit that I'm doing right now for Darcy from Chit Chat Knits. She thinks she's going to call it Fruit Stripes, and here's Grace, but you don't even hear her whining, which I got a kick out of the fact that several people told me that when they heard Grace whining, their dog started whining. And I know that's happened before when Oso has barked in the past, but She's just coming in to see what's going on in here. I want to update you guys. Oh gosh, but that means I'm gonna have to, it's okay, I bought it on Etsy, so I'll be able to find it. This row counter that I got a while back, I'm pretty sure it was during Naughty Nitwit's time, has been, I just love it. So it's an abacus style, it's great. And just another update I want to tell you guys. I saw Leslie on Saturday. Lori and I went down about an hour from here and met Leslie for lunch, and she's doing good. She's very busy with work, but she's doing good. She looked good, everything. She's been knitting a little bit of sock knitting, and as far as us recording again, you know, I can't speak to that right now, but that's just not really on the immediate horizon, but she is doing good. And so I know a lot of people have asked about her, so there's the answer. She's doing good. So back to, I think I'm, gosh. This is the sock, the fruit stripe. She thinks that's what she's going to call it. And she did it with a couple different colors. I initially wanted to use self-striping yarn because I love self-striping yarn, and so any pattern, any sock pattern that could potentially be a good fit for a self-striping, I'm all over that. And I think that this pattern would probably have done fine with self-striping, just not that one that I picked. I just don't think that that was a good pick. And then by then, so I had other self-striping ones that I could have chosen, but by that point I just decided I wanted to do something that had a lot of contrast, because I looked at hers at Darcy's and they had a lot of contrast between, you know, these. I just said she wasn't whining and she whined. I'll be with you shortly, honey. Each of these sections is an 8-row repeat. So I want, see, I got totally messed up now because my dog was talking to me. So I just wanted a lot of contrast. And so I chose these colors, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to make them, yes, I'm at the point where I'm going to do the heel, because I don't need my socks to go way up my leg. That just doesn't work well. I just don't, that's just not a thing for me. But I'm going to have to do it during the day when Michael's doing something else, because I don't usually knit during the day a whole lot. It's usually just like in the evening when we're watching something. We watched Oppenheimer last night, and there were points where I wasn't knitting because I was like, and Masters of the Air on Apple. We don't have a lot of streaming services because it's all junk, and in our opinion, there's just not a lot that we like to watch. But I like any war stuff, and that Masters of the Air on Apple is very, very good. And then the Oppenheimer was, you know, was just very interesting. And most of all of that quantum, or, you know, all that kind of splitting atoms and stuff way over my head. But I like the historical aspect of it. So anyway, all that to say, I can't do a new heel while I'm watching something. If I were just to do like the Fish Lips Kiss heel, or, you know, one of them that I'm very familiar with, but I'm going to follow her pattern because that's the idea behind test knitting, is that you follow the pattern. So I'm going to have to think about it, but I'm to that point, so I'm happy about that. I hear something. I think someone's out there digging on the couch or something, which is also, our couch is actually okay because it's just covered in blankets, which doesn't look good, but at least it protects the couch. Our lives revolve around our dogs. That's just the way it is. So I still have my crochet blanket, my big, huge, massive hexagon blanket. There's no point even trying to show the whole thing. It's just so big. It's getting to the point where I'm like, I need to finish it because it's heavy. It's like, it's kind of cumbersome. I love it though. I'm not complaining. It's a good thing because that means I'm almost done with it, but it is just, I don't know. I also kind of want to add a few more rows, so I might not be. I think what it is, honestly, I think I just have to get to the point where I spend an hour or two doing some knitting or crocheting during the day, because we're kind of to the point now where by the time Michael and I are, you know, settling down for the evening, I've done whatever I do here, you know, which I don't know what that is, but it's not knitting or crocheting. And then I make dinner and clean up from dinner. Then we sit there and I'm kind of tired. I still want to knit and I still want to crochet. I just, I don't know, I just am not getting as much done. But I've also had an issue with I think I told you with my sciatica. Well, I did the x-ray and my spine's narrowing and I got that spinal stenosis thing. I start physical therapy in a couple weeks. I couldn't get in sooner with the sciatica guru, they said. So I'm thinking, and if like after I do that, maybe things will start feeling better and then I'll feel better, which will be great. And then I'll have more, you know, when you're sitting and my chair is like the most uncomfortable. It's a lazy boy recliner, but it is the most uncomfortable chair right now. Like before it was fine, but with this whole thing going on, it's very uncomfortable for me. We tried moving my glider out there and that just didn't work. I tried sitting on the floor, on the couch, just nothing's working. So, you know, sitting and knitting and crocheting is just not really a big comfortable thing for me right now. But anyway, now I'm going to talk about card stuff. So, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to show you these socks. And I thought I had nothing to talk about knitting wise, and I just did. My cookie swap socks, I finished these, and I think I may have been pretty much done with them last time. I don't remember, but here they are, done. I really like them, but I think I'm going to send them to my sister-in-law for her birthday, because her birthday's like next week. And she's very knitworthy. She likes socks. She's the one who I posted on Instagram a bit ago about a baby being due. And I think a lot of people thought that meant that one of my kids was having a baby. I'm going to be a great aunt. My niece, my youngest niece is having a baby. So that's super exciting. I'm so happy for my brother and sister-in-law. And I'm happy for my niece too, but I'm really happy for my brother and sister-in-law to get to be grandparents. And so that's exciting. Oh, and also, so that means if I'm going to be knitting baby stuff, and I have a couple blankets kind of picked out. I haven't decided for sure yet, but if you know of a good yarn to do a baby, you know, I know there's a lot of options out there. I want it to be, I'm not going to use my like hand dyed or, you know, fingering weight yarns for this because the obvious reasons, you know, it's going to get spit up on, vomited on, maybe pooped on, who knows. So I want it to be washable, easily washable. And I don't really want to do something with fingering. So anyway, if you know of a good option there, that would be great if you told me. Oh gosh, and now they're so dirty. But I only have a couple cards to show you right now. I'm going to show you this one because it's so cute. And then Lori showed me how to do this. I mean, because she sent me a card that had the envelope with the back of the envelope, just using some of the fun cardstock, you know, the fun printed paper. So that's cute. That just, to me, just makes it so nice. And then I got this really fun stamp set that has for envelopes. It's got some cute, my favorite is Long Live Snail Mail. Can you see these? I don't know if you can see. They came from Honeybee Stamps, which is a company here in Oregon, so I kind of like to support them. It's all about supporting the company. It's not because, you know, because I gotta buy all this stuff. And then I'm going to show you this other card that I did, but I have to tell you, I had seen this stamp. Okay, right now we're just going to talk about the stamp, which was this power line stamp with the birds on it, and I just loved it. And when I saw it on, I think it was scrapbook.com, they had a video of this gal taking, you know, re-inkers and just on water color paper, and she just did this thing, and it just looked so cool. And then she stamped it, and I was like, sold. So I bought the stamp, I bought all these re-inkers, I bought the watercolor paper, And I sat down and I tried to do it. And I'm going to insert a little picture in here because it just kind of shows some of my attempts. And I was so frustrated because it was like, she made it, like, this shouldn't have been hard. You're taking a paintbrush and some water and some ink, and you're just putting it on paper. I wasn't trying to do like a castle. I wasn't trying to paint some magnificent thing. It was just really just putting some paint on a piece of paper. It just wasn't working for me. So I got kind of frustrated. So then I watched a very simple tutorial on how to do a sky. And this guy made it so easy. You put, some water on your watercolor paper, then you do blue, just some blue, you kind of let it do whatever. You take a paper towel, blot out some clouds, and then once that dries, then you put just a little bit of gray at the bottom of your clouds. And anyway, he did it like that. It looked like a sky, like you thought you were seeing an actual sky on this guy's paper. So I thought, well, that's really easy. That's like 3 steps. I mean, I can do that. Well, this is how that turned out. And I'm not displeased with it. I was at first. I was like, that doesn't look anything like his. And it doesn't. It doesn't look anything like his. But I'm okay with how it looks. And so I'm living with that. So then that got me inspired. I was like, I've always wanted to be able to do watercolor. Like I've just thought it was always such a neat look. And when the girls were little, we did this watercolor class. It was like an 8-week thing or whatever at this lady's house on Mount Tabor. She's an artist, And me and the 2 girls and a friend of mine and her 2 kids went. And I think her son was too young, but her daughter did it. And she is now an actual artist. I mean, she is amazing. I have some stuff that she's done. I'll have to pull out and show you sometime. But anyway, she's amazing. But anyway, when we were taking this class, I would spend the entire time pencil in hand because she would put like a pear out on the table. And she'd be like, okay, sketch that pear, and then, we're going to do this color stuff. And she'd go through the whole thing. I couldn't even listen to anything she was saying about the paint because I can't sketch a pear. Are you kidding me? I can't sketch anything. And I'm not being modest. I don't have that thing in me that's like, I can just sit and draw something. And you might say, oh, you have to practice. No, we're past that. I just can't do it. So I found this watercolor class online. It's called Art with Suzanne. I've only done a couple lessons, but there's no sketching involved. It's just, you're just kind of free hand doing whatever. So the first lesson was doing lavender flowers or whatever they're called. I guess that's it. So I watched it and it looked like, okay, I can do that because you're just gonna do some lines, not a problem. Well, so, and she tells you to get like a spiral bound, whatever you call this, whatever, they have a name for it. But anyway, see that big, huge line, that big green blob? That was my first line. And I was very like, okay, even just doing this simple first, this is like basic, just take your brush and do this thing. I had no brush control. So anything you see on here that looks halfway like, oh, that's not bad. That's after. I went back after practicing. I just started taking my paintbrush and trying to do lines that would be like stem-like, just because I thought, you just take this paintbrush and and then you get this thing that looks like what she did, and it doesn't work that way. There's like, your paintbrush can do all this other stuff. And so then I backed up a little bit more and started watching a couple tutorials about just brush strokes, just like you just have to see what your paintbrush is going to do. And that just, like, if you're someone who paints and you have that artistic gene or something that makes sense to you, you're like, of course you have to do that. Well, to me, I'm like, no, I should just pull out my paintbrush and I should just mimic what they're doing. I can see what their hand is doing. I should be able to do that, and apparently it doesn't work that way. So then I tried again to do the sky thing. I haven't gone back in and added the gray. I'll do that later. And I started doing some of the lavender things like she was showing. Oh yeah, did I already show that page? That might be it. Oh, because I didn't, this was just another page where I was just, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I guess if you're new anyway to all of this stuff, I think they might recommend before you actually try to paint something that you just kind of do some practice. I guess just like to get your hand flowing, or I don't know. I'm not an artist, but I want to be like not an artist, but I just want to be able to do a few things that I can use in my card making. I'm not looking to try to hang something on my wall, you know. That isn't gonna happen. But I will say that from the first time I tried it, you know, just getting these blobs, this isn't great, I know, but there's some improvements. So I'm trainable. I mean, maybe not leaps and bounds, but I can, so what I want to do, this is what I want to do. So I started working, Lori loaned me this die set called Sending Love from Stampin' Up. And it can make these little, so I have a picture from a card that she made. So I'm going to insert her card here that she made just to show you the potential, you know, of this die set, which I've now ordered the die and coordinating stamp set because of course I have to have it. It's so cute. But just for an example, I haven't finished. Because what I want to do, okay, so you have the post, you've got the little mailbox you put together. You can do it so your little thing goes up and down by using a little brad. And then the die set comes with, you know, you make these little mini envelopes, which, you know, anything mini is awesome. But this little mini envelope, you could even put in there. I wouldn't do that color with this. I was still just playing with everything. But I mean, that's so stinking cute. I did a red mailbox. I started it yesterday, and then Michael went and got a quad, which is a whole nother story. But so then I had to go and write it. But it's just so cute. And then I did a little envelope out of this paper. And look, I mean, that is so cute. So, or you could do a smaller letter, you know, and you could write something on it and just put it in there. And, you know, you won't let that happen on your card. But so what I was thinking would be really cute is just to take a piece of, you know, watercolor paper and do some grass and do a few lavender things and then stick the mailbox on it and maybe do a sky, you know, like there's just so many things that are going, there's so much potential here. And so I don't need to, you know, be able to paint the Mona Lisa, but I want to be able to add some grass and some flowers and a sky to some stamped things. And I would love to do more I want to do more of the stuff with this stamp set because, I mean, that's just one stamp, and then these little things down here are from a different stamp set. But I love that. I love the, you know, just something simple. I just want to be able to do some simple stuff, so I'm working on it. So there's that. Hang on, I need a drink. That's going to be fun to play with. And so, oh, and another thing if you're one of the prize winners and you would like to, and obviously not everyone, but whoever tells me first wants this Stellina, you know, I had bought this a while back for knitting or crocheting. I thought, because I love the glitter sparkle yarn. So I had bought this just to add my own sparkle to my yarn, but I didn't really like how the yarn and this, I just didn't like how it all went together. So I thought, well, I could use this on cards, but it's a little bit thin. You kind of have to use a lot of it. So anyway, I'm just gonna, if one of you winners wants this, I'll just add it to a prize if nobody wants it that was a prize winner, then I will open it up as a different thing. Also, if you're a stamper and you use like the Big Shot Sizzix or Sizzix, however you say it, or whatever brand you might have, I got these magic mats from scrapbook.com to replace the, because you have your big thing, which I have a magnetic one, and then you put this down, and then you put your die with your paper or your embossing folder, and then you put another one of these, and then you put it through the machine, and then you get these magical, that's how you get these really cute little things. Anyway, I replaced the hard plastic ones with these. I got them from scrapbook.com, and I like them a lot. Like, they were more expensive. They recently, and I don't know if they're still this price, were $20 for the set of two, like $19.99 or something, which was really, I think it was like half of what they were originally. I wasn't going to pay like what they originally were asking because I didn't know if I'd like them or not. But when they went down to this reduced price, I was like, yeah, I'll try them for that. And I really like them. So if you have one of those and you're at all interested, I really, I can say these were a good investment. I'm going to insert some pictures of, I made some cards for my grandson and granddaughter for Valentine's Day, which, normally when my kids were little, I did all of the holidays, excuse me, and I did it up with a lot of stuff. And then when my grandkids were little, I was probably a little bit more into it, but as I've gotten older, and I'm not going to go buy cards, Well, once you become a card maker again, you send cards for everything. Like, you want to send everybody a card for every occasion. So I was happy to make them. And they called me and thanked me, and they liked them. So I also sent money in them, so that helped them like them. But paper, I went and I'm a paper addict now, because paper is kind of like what project bags used to be, and yarn, because I love all the different prints and the different prints. But I got this because I love maps, and so I got this paper that's just all these different maps. It's so cool. And I'm not going to show you every piece of paper that I've purchased, but I will show you just a couple. Last time I think I talked about this, and I don't know if I showed it, but how I take because a lot of the designer papers, the printed papers, come in 12 by 12. And those are just hard to store and stuff. So I cut them into 6 by 6, which helps, because I tell you, I'm not the only person. If you are a card maker, you know that when you get that beautiful paper, you don't want to cut into it. It is so weird, but you don't want to cut it up. So I have found personally that if I just right off the bat, just cut them up, it's like, okay, it's cut. I can use it now. It's a weird thing. But anyway, whoops. And then I took manila folders and cut them so that I can have them in here. And one of the reasons I just rearranged my entire desk was because I wanted this right on my desk, because I just like to be able to just pull it right over to where I'm at. And I think I may have shown this birdhouse paper before, because I know I did. You're not seeing it, but because I'd used it on a bunch of cards. But a couple other ones that I just recently got, I just have to show a couple pieces of because they're so pretty. These were from Stampin' Up. And it was these different birds. So pretty. Yes, I'm still on a bird kick. My daughter Renata got us this bird feeder with a camera on it. And so I don't know how well this is going to show up, but now I just have it on. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's so much. Do you see that bird? Well, I get to watch birds feed, and this one's he looks like he's just sitting there. What are you doing? Well, part of the problem could be we're going through a lot of bird feed now, because we have this bird feeder, and then I bought this long one that's like a tube, and then it's got maybe 6 spots for birds to go and feed on, and it's always, every time I look, it's empty. And yesterday when we were coming up from our little quad trip, we noticed that they were empty. He's just sitting there. He's not even eating. It's like he's guarding it. I wanted to show you guys some cute birds eating. It's so funny when they eat. They just grab it and like see it is flying everywhere. It's crazy. So if anyone ever tells you you eat like a bird, it is not a compliment. It means you're eating like a crazy creature. But I think he's guarding it. It's so funny. They're just so fun to watch. It's this is my entertainment now. I watch birds eat. It's what I do. And speaking of birds, we are so blessed here, for so many reasons, but we have these these two huge bald eagles that are just in this, it's on our property, their tree with their nest, but you don't see it from our house. You have to go up the hill. But they've been hanging out in this tree closer to our house that you can just go out in our driveway and look up, even without binoculars. And I can't see. I see these huge bald eagles. They just sit in their tree, and you hear them talk, which is really funny because these magnificent, just, regal birds, they sound like seagulls. It's so funny. Like their voice does not match their magnificence. And then you'll see them fly. Yesterday we were out there and this one was just, he or she was showing off to their mate, just the way they were flying around. It is so awesome. Anyway, I got this little crud. I'll have to pick those up later. Won't be showing you those. This is the last one I'll show you because I'm not going to totally drive you nuts, but I got this set called Countryside. And again, I've just cut them down already. But it's, there's just these different, those look kind of boring. They're not boring, though, because when you start using them, you can just, in fact, I made my sister-in-law put a picture of it here, a birthday card, just using a piece of one of these. Just love paper, okay? It's just my new obsession. There's just so many pretty ones. I love this one because even isn't that pretty? It's just like this black color, and then on the other side, because it's not just black, it's kind of texture looking, and then on the other side is that kind of thing. There was one in here that I really loved. I'm sure you guys are thinking, you've got to be kidding me, or you've resorted to showing us paper. But paper's fun. Paper's fun. Okay, that one. Anyhow, they're all fun, but that's, okay, I'll show you just a couple more just because they're right here. And I got these are a little more colorful. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? And this one, this is so cute. Little fruit things. There's some sort of thing on there. But on here, I'm going to show you. Okay, it's not where I thought it was. Oh, it's at the back. No, there's another one. But for when I make my nieces, look at that. I'll have to incorporate that somehow because it's so cute. But there's another one in here that made me think of my granddaughter. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at those little guys. It's so cute. I know, I'm like a child again. That's the fun of this stuff, though. I mean, we've experienced it with some of the knitting stuff and definitely experienced it with some of this stuff. It's like, I don't know, playing with paper. It's fun. Okay, let me look at my notes real quick because I did take notes. Oh, I was going to tell you guys about, so we used to have that, my husband always called it the side-by-side. I called it the buggy, but sometimes he'd call it the, I don't know. But anyway, it's a Mecron. It was by Coyote. And it was just 2 to 3 people could get up in the front bench and we'd drive it around the property. And it was fine. He'd take it out when he needed to go mend fences or do whatever, whatever he goes and does. And I'd just take it sometimes and ride it around. Not that often, but anyway, he sold that because he wanted to buy an excavator, like a real excavator, a mini excavator, but an excavator nonetheless, and they're very expensive. And so he thought, well, if he sold the Mecron, that would get us almost halfway to the excavator, and then it didn't hurt as much to, take that money out and spend it. But money in the bank is kind of useless. So bought an excavator, and that's good because he'll use it. He uses his stuff. It's great. I have no qualms about it. But so we got rid of the Mecron, bought the excavator. He hasn't got to go play on the excavator yet because of the rain, but we definitely have with this property. He has stuff that he can go do, and he always makes things look better, so that's good. But anyway, so he did that. Well, then he'd been kind of looking at quads, and so just for something to, because we've got deer and elk, they're always messing with the fences. He's always got to go do stuff, burn piles, whatever, just the stuff he goes and does. And he's not going to drive the excavator out there, and he could take the tractor, but that's ridiculous. And he could walk, but a lot of times you've got equipment that you're taking. So anyway, he got this quad, and it's used, it was not a big investment. So, but it's in good shape. The guy took care of it. So we went and got that yesterday, and I don't think I might have a picture I can put in, but anyway, it was so funny. He's like, okay, look, I think we should go together before you write it, because I don't want you to kill yourself and or get seriously injured, because I have a tendency to overdo things. He takes it back. He reminds us of when we were on our honeymoon in Mexico, and I did the paragliding thing and almost landed on a hotel, because they're telling you to pull this thing. So if someone says to pull something, I don't do it gently. I pull it, and it it was crazy. I don't know. It was almost 30 years ago, but it was a thing, and he still refers back to it as. And there's probably been other examples of me kind of overdoing things or doing things too rough or too hard. I'm one of those people that if something doesn't go how it's supposed to go, I'll just start banging it or kicking it, or I don't have a lot of finesse, and I'm not bragging. This is not a good thing, but. Anyway, so he thought that if we went together on our first, on my first maiden voyage on this thing, it would go better. And maybe it was, but anyway, so we took it up in the hills. We weren't positive it's not 4-wheel drive like the other thing was, so he was a little bit concerned, but it did great with both of us on it. And that's no small feat with me on there. It got us up the hill faster than the Mecron ever did. So it was fun, but seems like I had a point to that. And now that I'm at that point in our conversation where I should be making the point, I'm not sure what it was. But anyhow, let me just see if I forgot to talk about anything that was super duper important. And I know I have yet in any of my podcasts to talk about anything super, super important. Here's my paint. I didn't show my paint. I got this paint. Fun. Yeah, so this online watercolor class was only $27, but then I had to order all this stuff to be able to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. But, well, that's all the stuff that I'd written down, and I'm looking all around me. I'm surrounded by stuff, but I don't have anything else that looks like anything that I should be sharing about. And so it's probably a good time to end it, because I'm still looking at that bird. And he's still just kind of sitting there. He's turned direction now. But I don't think I can show you anything, because with the shadow, it's kind of a blob. I can record with it, and I've sent videos. Actually, I think I posted a really tiny one to Instagram not too long ago. It's really fun for those of you that are, really into the birds. Now I follow all these accounts on Instagram with birds. Whatever. So, okay, hope you're all doing good, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.